Hey there, how you doing? Andy Whitehead here with a sore throat. So this question is around mindset. So is mindset important to breaking seven figures as a recruitment search business owner? If you've been at the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 mark for a number of years. So mindset. Now I'm massive on mindset, huge. Around my house, it's just inundated with quotes, etc. You know, my friends, they take the mick on this, but I've got empirical evidence myself and from members, clients over the years that what you put in comes out. So I want to make this real for you, rather than just get into woo-woo and say high five and let's be Tony Robbins, although that guy changed my life many, many years ago. Mindset, if you think about what recruitment is, it's bloody tough. In recruitment, we need to get a client, convert them, then get a high quality candidate and convert them at the same time. Think about most businesses. Most businesses, they have one key service offering. We sell cars, we sell oranges, etc. We got two, and they're fighting against each other. We want to offer this, well, I want this. So it's tough. So when I look at businesses that are stagnated, so as a one-person business, and that's normally what is our sort of inbox sort of driver. It's businesses who are, it's one-person business owner. They might have, a recruiter or an admin person, etc. But they've been stuck at 200, 300, 400 for X amount of time, or they're a startup, been working for the man, and now's their time to change. And they just can't break it. And if you think about what's going on, we need this client, this candidate at the same time, and then we need to make sure that they hit it off. It's pretty tough. So mindset. Why is mindset important with this? Now, I'm going to make this a real case study. So on the screen, you're going to see a post from our forum, from our group. So we've got Accelerator, Build and Scale. And this is a post from a member. And as you'll see there, so by the end of May, they've done 1.1 million. This member had also done 80K 18 months before for the year. So 80K for a year, the 1.1 million in the first 5 months of this year in COVID. Big jump, huh? So how'd it happen? Well, how'd it happen? All on him. He did the work. It's all on him. He did everything. But I'm sure you won't mind me sharing this. We had a conversation about a year ago, and that conversation was along the lines of, hey Andy, I'm not happy, this isn't working. And then on that call is like, well, you're running this strategy, there are 20 other people running the same strategy now, X amount, I can't remember the exact number, but 17 are getting this result, 2 are getting this result, we've got 1 who's struggling, and struggling for this reason. So, let's have another conversation, what's going on here? And it was, well, it ain't working. Okay, anyway, we had a conversation that day, and it was a conversation around, listen, I know what's inside you. I've met you. So we used to get together 3 times a year in London. Our members are flying from Australia, from the USA, from wherever. They fly into London, and then we'd have 2 solid days together, go out for dinner and drinks, and it'd be great fun. And I've met this guy. This guy is an absolute ball of energy. He sends me text messages which are just light my day up. In fact, I owe him a response. The last message I got was, Andy, I bought you a ticket for a festival in Malta. I got a ticket with your name on it. And there's a picture of him on a yacht. This guy is a ball of energy. However, we had this conversation that day. Now, I'm not saying that his life changed on the back of that conversation, but what I can see with empirical evidence is the metrics changed. So what does that mean? Well, it really means 2 things. Number 1, it means in our recruitment world, it's tough. And most recruitment entrepreneurs that I know don't hang out with other recruitment entrepreneurs. They hang out with their own friends. So what do you actually do? It's like channeling from friends. What do you actually do? Well, I place Java developers in New York investment banks. What does that mean? It's like your friends don't really know. So most of my members have got this business, but they actually haven't got this supportive environment. So they run their thing, from their bedroom or from their office, and then it's a case of this is my feedback, i.e. these are my metrics. So remember, your business is simply leads, clients, candidates, number one. Number two, convert clients, candidates. Number three, deliver the candidate, get retained business. That is your business, search or staffing or recruitment, that's it. So if you think about it, you break it down to those consumable steps. When we have this change going on, it really comes down to number one, right, what's really going on here? Am I actually focused on getting the leads in, converting or delivering? Which is a conversation with that gentleman. That's number one. Then number two is a conversation about, right, I'm X age. Let's say that this person is 35 years of age and it's right, I want to be retired in 8 years' time. I want to create a business that is going to be, I'm going to sell it for 20 million. So let's just make it nice and easy now. Say it's going to be 3 times profit ratio. I know whatever your P ratio, don't want to get into all that right now, but let's say that's what it is. So that means we need to be turnover around about 7 million. So that's a big jump, isn't it? But now that's a real thing because we've gone from 80K to 1.1 million in 5 months. So probably a 3 million year. So next year, can we get to 7 million? Of course. When someone joins us, if they do the work, I expect to double the revenue in half your hours. I expect that if you do the work. So this gentleman, he said, right, today is the day where this changes. And it changed. And then we've got the understanding that, right, business in recruitment is leads, conversion, delivery. Now, recruitment people, so you've either been working for the man, you've been working for an agency, and you've set up your own business. So you've been working in an agency whereby you've got a desk, you've got a manager, or you've got a business owner, and your job is to maybe get the role and get the candidates. You're doing 360. And then you've been saying to yourself, right, well, they're getting 40K per fee, I'm getting 5K, fuck this, I'm off. But what you've seen is an archaic business. That same business owner comes to me and says, right, we're turning over 500,000, but I'm taking home 70 grand. After all the costs, everything's going on, I've got this team of 5 people, we're doing 500,000, I'm only taking home this. Okay. So this chap here, he posted this question inside our group, and the responses were anywhere from 60% to 80, 85%. So what should your profit ratio be? So if you earn 100 grand, you should be taking home 75 grand. Now, pre-tax. So your revenue is 100, your business expenses are 25. So that might mean virtual assistant, it might mean your automation tools, it might be your nurturing tools, it might mean etc. Now this guy's doing 1.1 million. Now one of the responses in there was a guy who's doing a lot more than that, and his profit ratio is higher. So if you're in the 1 to 2 million mark and your profit ratio is under 70%, you're leaving money on the table. If you're a business that is fairly new, or you've left working for the man, i.e. another agency, and you set up your own business, it could be 3, 4, 5, 10 years. But what you've done is you try to reproduce what your former business owner showed you. Your costs will probably be, I don't know, 50%, maybe more than that, who knows. So remember what your job is. You're a business owner, you're not a recruiter. You're a business owner, not a recruiter. So your job is to create a business that brings in X revenue. Then your next job is to make sure that your revenue has minimal expenses. So we've done 1 million this year, fabulous. What's your profit, Steve? Well, Steve, what's your profit? Well, Steve, you're here to get help. What is your profit? Well, Steve, what was your dividend this year? 80K. Right, what's your salary? Right, so you took home 100K this year, yeah? And you got all that stress. Right. So who's right? Is it the business owner who's turning over 300,000 and taking home 220, or the guy who's doing 1 million, but he's got a business and an office and all the plush stuff? Who's right here? So nowadays, we've done the laptop recruiter now for a decade. You know, I left the corporate world. I then started working from my laptop. At one point, I was working 15 minutes a day, had a very healthy, multiple six-figure salary, working 15 minutes per day. My then partner, she was a flight attendant. I remember we went to the Maldives. I was meant to be on one of these jump seats, which is like an emergency seat, but luckily I got a proper seat. Went to the Maldives, and in that industry, if you travel X amount of miles, then you've got to stay on site for 4 or 5 days due to cabin pressure, blah, blah, blah. So essentially I had this free holiday. Now bear in mind, 2008, I had a load of property, lost everything. And at this point, I'm just starting to start something new. And I'm on this Maldives holiday. I've taken my laptop, but each morning I'd wake up, bam, start my software, come back in from the beach, a few hours later, make sure it's still running. Cool, end of the day, 15 minutes, check the metrics. Cool, we've done it. We've done 5K today. Because at that point, I was selling a program. So when you think in these ways, I've always thought about one-to-many and the cost. And I've been working remotely now for over a decade. So when we did the laptop recruiter, it was to get recruitment individuals to, well, as we say on the tin, work remotely. Now it's being forced on a lot of people now because of COVID. But even if you've got an office, if you put these systems in place, and systems has now become a dirty word because everyone talks systems, but who actually does it properly? You know, they start and they don't finish. It's about getting a handful of processes moving, like this guy. Process to bring the clients in, process to bring the candidates in, process whereby he only speaks to the clients who've been qualified. So we send what we call a client attainment system across to the client before we speak to them. So all the objections have been overcome. If the client comes back with an objection we've not got inside our CAS, our client attainment system, we update it so next time it doesn't happen. So by the time our business owner speaks to a client, there are no objections. So when we look at our business, we look at our business and our costs. We look at our costs. Your business is to bring in leads, convert them, deliver the candidate. Now, when you start to get into the mode of, like this guy, and he texts me on my personal mobile, and I sent a message back and I said, right, you need to be doing this now. It was nothing to do with recruitment, nothing to do with business. It was about personal stuff, because now that's the next challenge. So we got members who've been with us for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Why? Breaking 200K, breaking 600K, breaking $1 million, getting to 1.5. Then they say, Andy, I'm going to go into another niche. Then they go backwards. And I said, don't go to another niche. But then we get these tax implications. Then we get cash flow implications. Then it's like, right, we need to replan, reset, maybe retool, maybe relook at the team. Maybe you've got a bad partnership here. Maybe you need to make a decision on what's going on with your staff. What's your outcome here? The outcome when you joined me was to get to $1 million, be taking home 600K and working 20 hours per week. Your ego's now got in the way potentially. We all do that. We're entrepreneurs. You know, we never stop and celebrate, but never stop to think about the implications. So your profit ratio, 75% is what I would call the norm if you got your shit together in my programs. And that means from 200K to over $1 million if you got your shit together. So if you don't do the work, you won't get a metric. If you don't get a metric, we can't go through the feedback loop and improve your campaigns, improve your automated nurturing. But if you're a business owner now and you're in startup mode, you're going to go for a phase of actually doing the doing. So that means you're going to do the hard work. But right from day one, you should have a VA. You should have a VA, as long as you know your niche. If you're at 300K, you should definitely have a VA, maybe even a commission-only recruiter at that point. If you're at $1 million, 100%. We've had businesses come to us who are doing 20, 30 million, and they've got 40, 50 desks. And what they'll do is they'll join us and they'll sign up with 3 licenses. They'll have 3 of their team joining one of our programs. And they'll sanity check it on those desks, then roll it out across the other desks. And then what they see is 360 recruitment is redundant. The amount of time they're looking to find a candidate. Well, all the candidates are inside our data set. Now, because of our authority, because of our webinar strategy, we're getting a reply rate of 80% as opposed to 12%. So your profit ratio, whether you're a startup or you're in the middle, 300, 400, or whether you're bigger, 75% is a number you should be looking to get to. And this isn't a high level, very streamlined, like, in bodybuilding, you got these guys in bodybuilding who take all the, what they call it, fat killers things, these fat things, and they got this ripped body where they got absolutely no fat on them. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just going to the gym every day. These guys who put in that on that post there, they're just doing the stuff and they're operating about 75%. And you should be too. If you're not, you leave money on the table. So with that said, hopefully it's giving you an insight into profit ratio as a business owner in recruitment. And if you want to know more, connect with me on LinkedIn. Just send me a message and say, Andy, I want to know more about profit ratios. If you want to understand more about our accelerator program or our build program or our scale program, accelerator is very, very cost effective. Or so is build. We're going to move into a high level mastermind. Reach out to me, book a call, and we'll move from there. But remember this, often what we do is in the recruitment world, but also the entrepreneur world, is we focus on, we've done 1 million this year. Awesome. Well, how many hours did you work? And often we don't care because we focus on the money, but how much did you keep? Well, it doesn't matter, I've done 1 million. It does matter. So 75% is what you should be focusing on. With that said, I'll see you on the inside. Laptop Recruiter, Facebook, find me. Now, if you've been following me for a period of time, my name's Andy Whitehead. I'm from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. If you want help right now, there are 4 ways we can help you. Number 1, join the Laptop Recruiter Facebook group, as I just said. Number 2, watch any of these on-demand client and candidate automation, inbound and growth webinars, whether it be the Laptop Recruiter, whether it be the $1 Million Recruiter, plus the hundreds and hundreds of other podcasts you can find on iTunes, on our website, on YouTube, etc. Number 3, if you want to reach out to me personally on LinkedIn, on Facebook, often you guys reach out to me. You've been following me now for 8 years. Now's the time. If you've got a question for me, send me a message on Facebook or on LinkedIn. I'll come back to you personally. Or number 4, if you're now ready to become a client, simply schedule a call, head to our website or head to the Laptop Recruiter Facebook group and then reach out to me personally inside there and I'll give you my diary and let's book a call. So with that said, guys, I'll see you inside the Laptop Recruiter group. Let's do this.